foundation after only 13 weeks. In 1892, steam trams were brought in and the old battery trams were converted into trailers for them to tow. Finally, in 1903, electric trams were introduced and have been running ever since. A short drive straight ahead is the Bendigo Botanic Gardens and a little further on, the Bendigo Pottery. Both should be on your to-do list if you're spending time in Bendigo. Bendigo Pottery is Australia's oldest working pottery. Established in 1858, the pottery was operated continuously from the current site in Epsom since 1863. It is home to the most significant collection of ceramic wood-fired kilns left in the world. Today, the pottery complex includes an interpretive museum, artist studios, and an extensive antique centre. For those who like getting their hands dirty, the daily wheel throwing lessons are highly recommended. We're about to turn into Nolan Street. This section of track was added during World War II to take workers by tram to the Commonwealth Ordnance Factory in North Bendigo. World War II reduced the number of men available to work to such an extent that the tramways were forced to offer conductor positions to women. By the end as we cross the Bendigo Creek, you will notice the bed of the creek is paved with bluestone. Over 100 years ago, the city councillors were forced to pave the creek in order to prevent slime and mud choking it and inundating the city, as a result of thousands of miners using their puddling machines further up the valley. We're now entering Bridge Street. In the 1950s, tram travel was a very affordable option for Bendigo families. A one-way fare to anywhere in town was the equivalent of 5 cents. Tram travel was reliable too, and many drivers prided themselves on running the services on the dot. People who lived along the tram route would often set their clocks by the time the tram rattled past their door and rang its bell. As they travelled along Bendigo streets, the trammies used to ring the gong at regular intervals to let people know the tram was coming. It was a common sight to see people running along the street with a piece of toast in one hand and We're now heading into Caledonia Street, which leads to the former Commonwealth Ordnance Factory, or Tallis as it is known today. It was built during the Second World War and is a world leader in defence, aerospace and ground transportation solutions. The tramways used to provide special services to bring workers from all parts of Bendigo to the factory. During the war, work was top secret. All sorts of weapons for the forces in Europe and the islands were manufactured here. Since then, the factory has continued its role manufacturing the Bushmaster, an armoured patrol and combat support vehicle. These highly reliable vehicles serve with distinction in Afghanistan, Iraq and other areas of conflict. Next stop is the Bendigo Joss House Temple. This Chinese place of worship was constructed in the 1870s and is one of the few remaining original buildings of its type in Australia. It is constructed with locally handmade bricks painted red, symbolising happiness, strength and vitality. The Joss House remains a place of worship and is regularly visited by worshippers who travel quite some distance to pay their respects to Guan Di. The god is the water wagons made with fresh produce were a familiar sight around Bendigo. The Chinese also recognised other business opportunities. Evidence of one such business was unearthed next to the gardens in 2005 when archaeologists discovered a 19th century Chinese brickmaking kiln. It is significant as the only known example of a Chinese brickmaking kiln outside of China.